Alabama football returns a Nick Saban-esque throwback in 2025. Stick around. Let's talk about it. This is your player preview for the week. This is Way Offsides. 3, 2, let's go. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Way Offsides. Feeling a little under the weather today. So if we get a little coughing or sneezing somewhere in the show, I apologize. But we're doing it because we love you. Before we get started, please do us a favor. Like, subscribe, leave a comment on this video. Tell us how we're doing. Hit the notification bell. This helps us continue to build, make content, and bring it directly to your smart device, wherever you're watching this. Most of you are watching on your smartphones. Hey, the majority of you watching this aren't subscribed, so just do it. Just pull the trigger. It'll be the best decision you ever made in your entire life. I guarantee you. Alabama football set to return one of the most prolific defenses in 2025, and a lot of talk has been centered around their secondary. However, as we've gone through these player previews, we've done several already as we get closer to kickoff here in just a few weeks. We're realizing Alabama is in a lot better place than a lot of people probably realize. We've talked about Noah Carter. We've talked about a lot of different people, Justin Jefferson. But really, when we look at the linebacker defensive line position, that seemed to be a big question mark for a lot of people as we got closer to the season. I don't think it's as big of a question mark as we think. I think that there are some depth issues there at that true, like, traditional linebacker position. There could be some depth issues there, but I think in general, on those hybrid positions that Kane Wommack's defense promotes, I think Alabama's set very, very well. And a lot of guys kind of popped off the page towards the end of the 2024 season. One of the guys we did a video on talked about was James Smith. I'll link that video to this one somewhere. But another guy that I want you guys to really kind of focus on going into 2025 is graduate Jamarian Latham. Latham's been with the Tide for a long time, a very, very long time. And this kid is set to really pop off in 2025, I think. The grad student out of Reform, Alabama, Pickens County, technically listed as a linebacker via Alabama's football, rolltide.com. But the 6'3", 262-pound beast of a man has been progressively getting better over the years during his time in Alabama. In 2024, he recorded 28 total tackles, 13 solos, 15 were assisted, 1 sack. That doesn't sound impressive, but when you look at what he's done as he's gradually gotten more playing time over the years, the trend, my background, my career outside of this fun hobby is in disease surveillance, right? And so we look at trends. How can you predict something? And that's the same thing I'm doing here with Latham. And when we look at his trends and how much better he's gotten, how he's taking advantage of his time on the field, I think he's a player that we kind of want to keep an eye on moving into 2025. Now, Alabama's going to bolster several big names along that D line traditionally, and then some of them will be that hybrid linebacker role. But guys like Tim Keenan, James Smith, we've talked about both of those guys a lot, but I think Latham is another guy that I think Alabama could get some really productive time out of in 2025. That rotation on that line is going to be absolutely insane. I feel like you started to kind of see that towards the end of last year, especially we talked about this in the James Smith video. You started to see Alabama kind of start to figure it out on the defensive line, rotate guys in, get fresh legs. And I think Latham will be a big part of that. He'll be behind guys like Quay Russaw, but I think that when he gets in the game, he could be a legitimate difference maker. He's not the only one. Guys like Yanze Pierre, Henry. We talked about Noah Carter, Justin Hill, the new inside linebacker coming in this year. Alabama has a wealth of guys that they can rotate in and out on this at this linebacker position or on the defensive line position that I think could be it could be pretty lethal, assuming that they get the time to make those adjustments, to make those substitutions. I think Alabama, in terms of a pass rush, is very well suited to have one of the most dominant pass rushes in the country. And I'm with you. For a while, coming off the 2024 season, we talk about this all the time. You saw a lot of guys that were kind of getting to the quarterback, but not necessarily finishing. And it was a question mark for a while. But as I dive more and more into the roster and start looking, check depth charts and things like that, I feel more confident in Alabama's defensive line and their linebacking position. Specifically, those linebackers will be used to rush the passer. And I think Latham's going to play a big part of that. I really do. Do I think he's going to play the biggest part in this defense? Probably not. There's just too many names when you look across the board. Even in front of him, Quay Rusall, the 5-star out of Carver High School in Montgomery. A lot of folks are really, really excited about him, as they should be. But I think Latham will definitely 100% get his time to make an impact. And I think it's a name you should definitely be paying attention to going into 2025, as are a lot. I feel like I say that about every player. You need to be paying attention to this guy. I think Latham is definitely somebody that you need to be paying attention to going into 2025, just because statistically speaking, he's poised to have a really big year. Whether that actually happens on the field or not, that's up to him. That's up to Kane Womack, defensive coordinator for Alabama. But I think Latham will get some very serious opportunity to impact games early. Too, I think you'll see him down there in Tallahassee. He'll get some significant playing time as Alabama keeps kind of rotating in fresh guys. We saw them do that towards the end of last season. I think that they'll do that this year as well. And so I'm really excited to see this kid in action. I hope you are too. I'd love to hear your thoughts on him. Latham's not a name that a lot of people are talking about. And so how do you feel about Latham? Tell me in the comments below. Where do you think he needs to improve? Where do you think he needs to get better? Do you think he's poised for a big breakout year in his graduate year? Are there other guys that you would like to talk more about on the show? We can definitely do that. We're going to keep this short just because, like I said, I'm a little under the weather, but I do want to say that we love each and every one of you guys. You are fantastic. The season is coming very quickly. It seems. I just got off of a phone call with a buddy of mine. We're just kind of reminiscing about all these old storylines over the past 20 years and just talking about how excited we are for the next chapter of storylines that will come out of the drama that is college football here in 2025. And I really do think that just looking at it and looking at the pieces that Alabama has all across the board on their staff, on this roster, guys like Latham, I think that Alabama is poised to have a very, very big 2025 and make a run, and a legitimate run at a national title. Thanks for sticking around with me. Absolutely love you guys. Sorry for the short video again, just not feeling great. But y'all are the best. Thank you for understanding. We absolutely love you. As always, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, hands down. Beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.